coming out of the infinite void, coming to join you by your side. We're gonna make you feel good. I'm Rye. Giles is with me.
I'm Giles.
And this is the silly little podcast that we record about nothing in particular. And that's about
Except
really it.
We have a little bit of pre-planning.
The smallest amount, but it was enough. First off, we will jump straight into topic one because I haven't really got anything in my mind.
Usually we just talk about some stupid shit until it's time for topic one. I feel like if we jump straight into topic one, we'll end up on topic two, and then at the end of the video we'll run out of time.
Well, for the listeners out there, basically we've put in so much time and effort into pre-playing this episode that has all that's been in my mind to the point where I'm not actually ready to record an episode because I got that in my head.
He spent so much time pretending to be a little girl.
Shouldn't we wait a little bit?
He's not ready.
I'm just not ready. But we will be introducing some new characters for you that you're going to just bloody love.
God damn.
All right.
I'll just be myself.
That's all that anybody can hope for.
It pretty much takes up all of my effort.
That is, I guess that seems like the biggest struggle. Most people, when you say like, "Oh, I'm gonna go on a little date with this cute thing that I found," not that and you ask your fellow human beings, and you say, "Hey, what can I do? What am I gonna do?" And they say, "Just be yourself." They lean right in close to your ear and just say, "Just be yourself." And that's exactly zero use to anybody.
It's not zero use. It's not really effective. You know how some people can say something and it just has like a feeling? Has a really strong feeling attached to it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if the right person says to you, "Just be yourself," it might actually move you.
That's true.
But from us, it's shit. It's nothing.
We're not the people to be asking about relationships and shit. Well, not dating. I've held a pretty steady relationship for a little while, but I'm not going to tell you how to run yours. If yours involves giant leaps of faith into the unknown, then so be it.
It does. I have a terrible time in that regard, so don't take any advice from me. In fact, write in, give us some advice. Cheers.
Give us some advice on the relationships you know nothing about, and we'll apply them, regardless of if it's a good idea or not. And then we'll tell you next time if it worked out.
I'll just try every single thing that's suggested to me. So
we take our fans very seriously.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty fun game.
Taking fans seriously. I actually agree with that.
Taking advice where they have no idea what the situation is and you just apply it and tell them afterwards what they were actually advising you on and then the outcome. Making a cake. Yeah, exactly. They think you're going to make a cake. They just make this wild assumption that you're talking about cake making, but you're actually baking babes. That's couldn't think of a word. Or maybe
they're trying to advise you on making bread, and they tell you to beat it until it's dough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then you apply that to relationships.
Yeah, Jesus. There's clearly some dark places this game could go. So best maybe not to play it, but
don't take bread advice in relationships.
Lie.
Unless you need to.
Oh.
Do you get that one? Do you get it?
Oh, I got it.
You know,
for all you non-bakers out there. No,
for all the non-bakers.
I think out of the number of people I've met, I've probably met probably 99.99999% of them are not bakers.
I have a good baker friend.
I think I know who you're talking about, and that's probably the one person I've met that's a fucking baker.
Who are you talking about?
I think it's
What's the first letter?
Fuck, I've no idea what her name is. But is it a her?
Yeah, it's her.
Oh,
I think you know.
Yeah, met her at the Bridge Hotel in Castlemaine, country Australia.
Oh, really?
Long time ago. Well, you were there. You introduced me.
Oh yeah, I was there. I remember. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
that was a good night. That was a weird night.
We'd have some stories to tell the listeners if we fucking remembered, but we don't.
I was really wasted, and I danced. I danced with this other girl, a non-baker.
Oh, shouldn't mess around with non-bakers.
We did, right? We did crazy weird dancing, and then I didn't invite her back to my place, and she got mad about that.
She should have invited herself if she was going. If she was ready to get mad about it.
I'm used to taking bread advice, and with bread, you wake up really early, and then you
let it rise.
Shove it in the oven, if you know what I'm saying.
If you haven't given the yeast infection time to culture, then
There's no such thing as a yeast infection in bread.
I was just trying to relate it back to relationships.
Yes. Yeah. No, I can get that. You get up early. You beat until it's dough, and then you shove it in the oven.
It's dough the whole time. Is it dough?
What are we talking? Did you mean to do that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Excellent.
I'm on the fucking ball with the puns today. I think that's my first one. It was a good one. Bakers certainly have to be very particular people. It is a very early start, and I imagine quite a hectic lifestyle. Well, not hectic, but like a pretty possibly a quite stressful job, I feel. You're meeting high quotas, I imagine. Lots of buns to be baked. And if you're the one baker baking all them buns, well, fuck me. Couldn't think of anything else. Anyway. Actually, what I was going to say is this idea of taking random advice and applying it to random situations. It's just like the idea of doing the silly experiments like that with your life. People get so worried when you do something bad with your life, so like if you decide to just take an entire humongous sheet of acid just to see what the fuck happens, everyone's like, well, that's a terrible idea. It's like, well, but there's so many people, and if one person wants to do that, then we can actually all learn from that. Like, we get to, like, everyone should try, not everyone should go to extremes, but it's kind of an exciting idea that we all experience these wildly different experiences in lives, and we all get to learn from it. So, if somebody wants to do that, then I say fucking go for it, as long as you document it and let us know how it turned out.
I see. Well, that's sort of like... that's sort of like saying it like you can do what you want with your body.
Yeah.
And I mean, if someone wanted to just like hit themselves in the head with an axe, if they wanted to see what that was like, I would probably stop them from doing that.
Yeah. Well, there's not much to be learned.
I'd say I'm not going to take away your right to do this, but I'm gonna not want you to do this.
I mean, that's just suicide.
No, you can survive an axe to the head, depending on how stupidly they do it.
Okay,
but they're not gonna appreciate the the maiming?
It depends, I guess, on where we're at as a species. Right now, we fully understand what's going to happen when that guy hits himself in the face with an axe. But once upon a time, when we were just hairy boys rummaging around in the dirt, in what was fondly known as little baby caveman era, those boys didn't know.
You might have heard of it. It's called the Cavemen Era.
You might have heard of them. It's called humanity. When we started out,
it's called early humans, Neanderthals.
Started from the bottom, and now we're a highly evolved species.
It seems like no, I fucked that up. Something Homo erectus.
Penis joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, those boys, they didn't know.
Joke.
If we took an axe back to them and said, hey, what you gonna do with this? They'd be like, I don't know. Well, first of all, can't speak English, so you have no way of explaining to me, so I'm gonna have to work it out for myself. And the way he works it out is by giving himself a good old whackety tap tap tippity tap right in the face with a sharp old axe. And then the blood starts gushing out.
I don't know if they had axes. I don't know if they worked metal yet.
No, we're taking it back to them. We're taking it back, baby.
Wait, how are we getting there?
Well, we're here.
Yeah.
They're there.
Mm-hmm.
We just need a little bit of time traveling magic.
Yeah, that's the bit that's missing.
Oh, that's the bit you're confused about.
Yeah.
Let me break it down for you.
All right. Time travel in general, please. Just explain.
Time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, time is like. It's like an onion.
A fresh bird.
You ever seen Shrek?
Time is like an onion. Yeah.
They actually touched on this on this concept in Shrek #1, where time is like an onion. See, Ogre was actually Shrek was a representation of time in that film.
Oh.
He was, and that's why he has such a drastic arc throughout the film, is because that's how time changes you, baby.
Time makes fools of everybody. It makes Shreks of people. Shreks your life.
Wow. What a joke.
Hey now, it's Shrek 3 now.
I didn't have anything more to that idea. I couldn't think of a joke. Well, I told the joke.
I was in the same boat. We were both rowing the same boat out into Shrekland.
But nonetheless,
through the layers and the time travel.
So basically, what I'm talking about though is like, so people get like super obsessed with like health and stuff like that, which is all totally fine. I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but for treating you like an idiot that you're not being healthy or you're not doing a thing that they're doing, it's like, whoa, you shouldn't eat, you shouldn't just sit on your ass and play video games and eat crisps for your life. And you're like, well,
crisps.
Not like, what if I don't want to do anything else? And also, in this day and age, we're the first people to experience games of such a high caliber with such a high with this new technology. I'm gonna fucking explore the shit out of that with my lifetime. It's my fucking lifetime, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna dive on in to VR and experience a whole new reality.
Are you gonna become a really fat, big-titted person?
Well, but like, if you don't give a shit, if it's your body and you don't want to do it, well, fuck you want. And if you're happy, then who gives a shit?
I'm asking you if you're gonna be a big, fat person.
I don't think I will.
Yeah. You don't have the guts.
No, I don't. I don't technically have the guts.
I don't have... You don't have the gut. Yeah, I don't have the guts to become a big fat person. I don't want to. It's
I've obviously a ridiculously good metabolism. I don't know if good's the right word, but quick metabolism.
It probably would have killed you back in the day.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Is like I don't have any perspective on my health except for how I'm feeling. But I've been feeling the way I've been feeling for a long time, so it's hard to compare it to anything. So I could be really unhealthy, and my body doesn't show it, but it feels it on the inside. So it can be hard to judge if I'm just like way overeating or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm.
So what do you use as your gauge? When do you know you're full or that you've had enough nutrition for the day?
I don't know. I just kind of go off. Well, when I'm. Oh shit! So sorry, I fucked up. I'm testing out a new recording method today, and I made a big old fucking boo boo. So apologies to the listeners who demand utmost quality when it comes to their podcasts. This is maybe not the place for you. What were we talking about?
What? Sorry, I was reading a meme that something about cucumbers being large. I don't get it. Alright, I'm back in though. Alright, now.
Yep.
Rye,
yes.
would you politely read topic number 2 for today?
Daddy?
No.
You asked me to read topic number 2? And that word just conjures this sort of a response from me.
I wanted a little boy.
Well, you bloody got a little girl. You have to live with that. And in this day and age, it doesn't mean any different. Anyway.
This is a 2-bedroom house. I'm not staying with you.
I'll make my own way in this world.
Yeah.
I don't need you or your second fucking bedroom.
Hey.
Now, on this topic of daddy, what did you actually want to discuss?
I have no fucking idea. I need...
Well, one thing that comes to mind for me is, not that I've watched any, but I have seen that it's quite a popular topic in porn and other things where people are obsessed with this idea of daddy and like baby girl and stuff like this. It's really weird. It's a weird
and you don't have that. You don't have that.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
You don't think about me.
No. I mean,
Good.
only as a father.
Yeah, you seem like a well-adjusted young lady.
Well, I've got you to thank for that, don't I, Daddy? Anyway, I wonder if this is this a new thing, or is this has always existed in society? I don't know. It just seems
people calling little.
It just seems to be becoming a bit more prominent in today's internet culture, if you know what I mean.
I think it's partly a joke. If
okay.
I'll take you seriously for a second, I think some people do it ironically, and others do it because they actually enjoy. They would like their boyfriend or whatever to give them a similar feeling that their dad used to give them.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the idea of wanting someone who takes care of you, but I just don't like the dominance side to it. Anyway, but each to their own, I guess. It's just not for me, and I find it interesting. Especially if it is, as I thought, becoming more prominent.
Do you know anyone who does have a daddy complex?
I think I do, but I haven't really spoken to them about it. But perhaps I should. Perhaps those are the people I should talk about. Not talking about, talk to about such things. I mean, I certainly don't have any daddy issues. So, it doesn't...
We had a fight as soon as we began talking, do you know why we were so angry at each other?
I mean, sometimes you overstep the line, I will say. I mean, you insinuate, but this is the thing. You try to use your power, and I don't like that. You try to use your power of having this other room.
But power is impossible to avoid. There is always some type of power.
True, but to wield it as a weapon against the ones you love, that seems a bit much, don't you think?
Yes.
Well, then we're in agreement. So that's all, anyway. Yes, we can fight, that's fine, and everyone does fight. It's very common, it's fine. Especially
Shouldn't
at my
you be at
age and your
school?
age. Pardon?
Shouldn't you be at school? This is the easiest thing that I could possibly think of, but shouldn't you be at school?
It's 4:23. What fucking time do you think school ends? Do you not fucking pay attention to my life? Jesus. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, though. If you want to abuse your power, well, at least fucking pay attention to what's going on.
No. You're pretending. You're using a position of privilege as
That's fucking rich. Oh shit. Okay. I see what. No. Okay. Let's just back to the topic, alright? This is not for the podcast. This is for something else. This is for later. Alright? But in podcast time. Okay, we're recording now. Gotta fucking make some content. Jesus. How am I gonna
You're a
make
content creator. How old are you?
About 4.
That makes sense because my wife gave birth to you 4 years ago, and I'm a real dad. What's so funny, little girl?
You just take yourself so fucking seriously.
It's because I'm a dad. You wouldn't have any idea about what it is like to be a dad.
Well, I think we've illustrated this fucking point quite well, don't you? I think I see where all these memes are coming from now. Now that you've shown your true fucking colours. Yeah, fuck this. Fuck you, alright?
What did I do?
We can do it. I'll come back for the next one, for the next podcast, but I just can't do it now. It's a bit too much today, okay? It's fine. Bye.
Ugh. How strange.
I mean, really, I think... I know we can just go off the cuff, and that's the whole point of the podcast.
I'm still getting used to this.
Maybe you two should actually prepare your dialogue before you record. If that's the kind of shit that's going to happen.
It's weird being a parent just at the snap of a finger. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it sneaks up on you.
I immediately started fighting with her.
Well, perhaps that's more of a comment on yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think it revealed some sort of insecurity within myself. She did start bitching about power.
I mean, she sees it from one side and you see it from the other. Sure, it's certainly not good to fight.
Tomato.
It's not good to fight about it, but it's worth discussing between you two, I guess. Because you'd have alternate perspectives. Anyway. So here's topic number 1 for today.
I forgot about topic number 1.
Money marks the worth and importance of your time. Essentially, this is. I just wanted to talk about this because this is not a bloody new concept or anything. We've probably discussed it before on the podcast, but I was asked to stay back at work today, and I knew I had the podcast coming up, so I knew I wanted to get back and get things organized, and also get a cartoon ready to post later today after we record the podcast. So I was like, okay, really, if I stay back even like half hour that I don't get the cartoon done, I maybe will be able to prepare for the podcast. And so I said, no, I'm recording a podcast today, so I'm not going to stay back. And she was like, oh, cool, sweet. But I felt quite strange about that still, and it makes me feel frustrated that I feel embarrassed almost because it makes no money. And I still think that people play that is like that marks the worth of what you're doing. If you're doing it and it makes no money, it's not worth as much as your job, even though you don't like your job. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Well, think about how many artists, like before they actually sold the painting that made them rich, or like before they even sold a painting that really pulled them out of squalor or whatever, they had to have spent days without money, without it actually paying off until you finished and actually got a gallery and actually sold it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with investing in something that doesn't immediately pay off.
That's how business works. That's how anything works. Is you're supposed to invest and
you
then
gotta spend money to make money.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, boy.
You gotta spend time to make time.
Preach it.
Money talks. Money is the root of all joy.
There.
Money. Money.
Oh, well, there's the that's our title for today. Yeah. Money is the root of all joy and happiness. Hashtag daddy issues. I'm not gonna. Not gonna do that. Anyway,
were you posting that on the Facebook page?
No. That'll be the name of that'll be the title for this podcast.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can put daddy issues.
It'll be in there, but just not as the title, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Anyway, I get there is a disconnect though, isn't there? But it's stupid because there are certain things you can do. I reckon if you were to volunteer at like a, I guess this is okay. Okay. So you can volunteer at like a
Lentil is anything as a business model.
Yeah.
Was pay what you can.
Yeah.
When you can.
Yeah.
But you still got to eat, and that is a failing business model. Like it doesn't really work, but it's actually good at its heart. Yeah. So, fuck people who are unable to see that.
Yeah. I mean, I get...
This is like practice. I'm sure that Nikki would turn down an arrangement if she had a practice that she'd scheduled for that next morning or...
Yeah.
It's not. She's not being paid to practice. The practice is what pays off eventually.
Yeah, you have to take that hit financially, and it's absurd that that's such a huge thing. And I was gonna say I get why money is such a intrinsic part of society. At least in our capitalist society.
Yeah.
Which obviously capitalism has its benefits as well as large downsides. But regardless of, I don't need to get into alternate into political systems or anything like that. It's a topic for another day. We've touched on it before anyway. But yeah, it's certainly it can be a good. It can be used well to mark the worth of certain things and can keep things moving well, but it's not the only worth. And this is fucking so obvious and clear, and we're not saying anything new or particularly interesting, but I guess something to just be retold. Actually, okay, I do that a lot. This is kind of a side note, little what do you call it? Asterisks. Anyway.
Yeah.
I've said a couple of times, many times on the podcast, like I'll backtrack and say, "Oh, it's not original," or it's been said many times. But as you actually pointed out before, I can't remember what we were talking about. But some things need to be said all the time. They conjure a particular feeling, particular emotion, and sometimes you just need to hear it every day. Otherwise, you forget, or you just get sidetracked.
In a different context, and yeah. And it needs to reinforce itself. Yeah. I'd say, yeah. Just like when someone says, "Can I have a coffee?" You know, what if no one could say what they've said the day before or something?
Yeah.
Then they go up to the cafe and they're like, "I'll have a fucking vanilla latte."
Yeah.
And they clearly wanted a cappuccino, and you'd take pity on them. You go, I know what you really mean.
This comes up a lot in art and music, especially. I think when people do something, people start to do a new style or whatever, and people say like, "Oh, this has been done before. This sounds exactly like a thing that happened in the past." Which depends. If you're ripping off entirely, then yeah, I guess fuck you. But originality is one thing. But if you're rehashing an old style or bringing something that has been done before to a new audience and to younger people and to bringing it into this day and age, that has shitloads of value. Like, okay, sure, Led Zeppelin, fantastic. The Beatles, fantastic. But a lot of younger people won't listen to that. So if you did kind of rehash that sound or do something with it just because you love it so much and it got people listening to it again, there's still value in the piece of art.
Like hip-hoppers, fuck, my head just went blank. Sampling.
Yeah.
Like when the levee breaks and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's actually really
which it has been sampled like lots of times.
Yeah.
The drums in the beginning of that song. So
and for fucking good reason.
Yeah, it does come back. Good art does come back. Yeah. Timelessness.
If it's sampled poorly, and not just with hip hop, but anything, if anything's just taking directly and just reusing it to make a quick buck or to make a quick splash, even if it does make a splash or a buck, it will usually die. I don't think it gets remembered. The tracks that do take it, bring it back, and do something new with it and reinvent it, and it's still referencing. It's not hiding the fact that it's referencing or using that old material, but it adds something new, especially to the time and age. Perhaps a good example is so Anaconda by Nicki Minaj. As much as it's a good banger, and I do like that song, I think it's a lot of fun in the setting that it's used for, because it's just to be played in a club. Everyone goes, "Oh my God!"
No, it's shit. It's shit.
Okay,
it fucking grinds my Anaconda.
Okay, but one thing people talk about is like, oh, she sampled too much of the original. It's too much, like, that was already a giant hit, and now she's taken it and made it her own hit, and they could just play the original. I was like, well, no, they can't just play the original.
You know what it also is?
What?
It's really fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb. I'm not... Okay.
It's look at my ass. Anaconda means dick.
Yeah.
And dicks don't want none unless the butt is large.
I get that. I get how silly and stupid it all is.
It's mind melting. It's not. It doesn't even have ironic value, if you ask me.
Okay. Right.
But anyway, I'm done being. I'm done assaulting Nicki Minaj.
That's fine. I mean, you can
verbally.
You got your thoughts and opinions.
Were you about to say you're allowed to assault me? So.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say you can. But okay, in this context, yes, you are verbally. In terms of an opinion on her work, yes, you can do what you want. That's how free speech works, I guess. But anyway,
but Australia doesn't have free speech.
Well, fuck Aussie, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you can't just take the original song and play it in the same context. In the same club, and it's still going to get the same reaction. Like the fact that it's Nicki Minaj and the fact that the song is put in the way it is, that makes it valuable to the people who are listening to it at that time. And you can't just take the original and play it. It's not going to get the same reaction.
I will agree with you. However, I would say that the original would get a better reaction than Nicki Minaj's.
Oh, in that particular context, in that club, I don't think so. In terms of artistically, if we were to critique them, then absolutely.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, at a club where everyone's fucking stupid and the speakers are all distorted as fuck.
Yeah.
And people are just happy to hear something that they've heard before. It really will not fucking matter.
But that's that's my point. Is that context?
I don't reckon we'll be analyzing that song in the future.
No, and that is what I was going to say though, because that's an example of it worked for a quick bang and a buck. Because people know the original, so that gets them excited. But then it's Nicki Minaj doing it, that gets them excited, and it's just stupid, fun, whatever, blur. And yeah, okay.
It's because she's practically naked the whole way through the clip.
Okay.
Sorry, my mic fell over. Like my anaconda knocked it.
But that's you're right. That's not going to last. We're not going to be researching that. We're not going to be looking back at that 20 years from now. However, an example that I think perhaps might get more recognition is "Power" by Kanye.
I saw it used in a PlayStation ad.
Yeah, it gets fucking used
recently.
everywhere.
And right, because they actually do want you to feel like you have all that power, they edited it. They cut off the beginning where he says "no one man."
Really? Was it?
So
it just
no. They cut off no. Yeah. So it just says one man should have all that power.
Ugh, that's frustrating.
And I'm like,
fuck.
that's like basically reversing the entire meaning behind the song.
Yeah, exactly. That's awful.
And it's already a sample of 21st Century Schizoid Man, which is, I would argue, still a much better song. I do like.
Yeah, I would agree
Kanye
with you
West's.
even. But that's a good. He takes that. He knows what it means. Like I think he's using it in a much better way than Anaconda. Is my point, right? Still, very very blatant. Like they're both very like they're not trying to hide the fact that they're sampling these songs. But they're moving them up to a new generation, to a new meaning, and that. Yeah, I mean, it seems that we shouldn't even really have to argue the point of sampling and the point of referencing, because every kind of music references other music and other songs and stuff like that. That's how art works. It takes things you know and then moves them forward into a new meaning, evolves, blah, 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 blah. Feels like it shouldn't even be discussed, but apparently it fucking has to be, because a whole bunch of people fucking get all up in arms because like, oh my god, they sampled this song too blatantly and I don't like it. It's like, well, you're clearly not getting it.
we do have to have that discussion at some point.
Yeah, okay.
Surely for the protection of people making good music. Imagine if you couldn't actually get away with that. You'd be forced to actually make something interesting. I'm all for that, really. However,
I wouldn't want to limit it though. Like that's meme culture dies instantly. If it was all, obviously no one's going to sue any memes, because how the fuck are you going to track down the original and stuff like that? That's really difficult.
Yeah.
But in terms of creativity, if we actually had an AI system that went through the internet and figured out who did it, sued them, memes can't be created anymore. They would die. They would absolutely die.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll protect the freedom of memes, but I won't protect the freedom of Nicki Minaj sampling the fuck out of another song.
Well, then you're letting your own opinion and emotions get in the way of logic.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't want to wholeheartedly defend Nicki Minaj either, but that's just my point. Is that
my anaconda don't want none unless she writes some original music.
Fair enough. My anaconda don't. Anyway.
Don't want none.
Unless you got buns. Honey. What was I gonna say? Though?
We should talk about some artworks.
Yeah. Do you want to do a bit of plugging, a little plug session? plug away?
No plugging necessary.
Oh, we're gonna just discuss a piece of art.
Yeah.
Oh.
The exploding fish, senseless drivel.
Excellent.
Sorry.
Yep.
Exploding fish and senseless drivel mega corporation has a new profile picture and cover photo that I did for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that meme page on Facebook, check it out. It's got some new shit.
The link for that page is down below, by the way.
Oh, okay, alright.
Let me find it. What is it? Exploding fish? I gotta find the link to put it in.
Exploding fish
shitposting and senseless dribbling. Found it.
No. Mega corporation.
Not Inc?
No. He wants to make a new page. Well, he made a new page.
Ah, okay.
The old page has like 400,000 likes. The new one only has about 70,000.
Megacorp. Oh, yeah, I found it.
It's this whole deal.
Okay. Good. I've got that. That link is absolutely down below.
Yeah, excellent. Cool.
Check out his old one as well, yeah, though? Exploding.
His old account?
Yeah. Inc.
Yeah, why not? He is going to delete it at some point. But...
Okay. Well, regardless, if anyone's interested, it's down below as well. But anyway. So you've got a golden fish going boom.
Yeah, he told me to turn the two O's into that symbol. Which I thought was a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Oh, he's got a YouTube channel as well. And
Bandcamp. Yeah, he's got a whole online presence.
Excellent. It's fascinating to me, curation of memes. Not creation, curation. People like running meme pages that collect the best, dankest, donkiest, bunkiest memes. Brings them all together in harmony.
You said bunkiest?
Bunkiest memes. And you got yourself some fans and money, baby. I don't know how that works, but fucking good on him. Lickety like that page is what I'm doing.
Man.
Just on the topic of memes, I was on Bumble. Bumble, which is a dating app. And just reading people's profiles and stuff like that. Mostly for fun. Maybe for a little bit of big. But noticed quite frequently that people say...
You old dog.
Yeah, well, actually, everyone loves dogs. A lot of people say, if you don't like dogs, get the fuck out. I was like, what the fuck? That is just a meme.
Are there a lot of full-time mummies on that site as well?
I have no idea. Not that I've seen. Maybe there are, and I haven't read those profiles. But common one is, I like memes. Is very common. Everyone's like, oh, I love memes, and that shows what kind of person I am. And that's kind of frustrating to me because, like, isn't just memes just general humor now? Isn't that just that's just humor, that's just comedy of our generation? So to say you like memes is just to say, like, I also enjoy laughing at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone shares memes.
Yeah, you're right. It's a meaningless thing to say. Yeah,
is basically my point.
I mean, I would consider myself fairly meme-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Meme-friendly, versed.
It's I don't know if we can really even go into the philosophy of memes and how it all works.
Yeah, we can.
All right, well, shed some light on me then, like, because it's such a... Obviously, because it's ever-changing, ever-moving, ever-shifting.
Yes.
How?
So at its heart, I believe them to be in-jokes. Things that you get to be a part of, you feel connected to. A lot of the time, I think the definition of the word meme just means something that self-propagates.
Yeah.
That it comes back, it doesn't die, it lives on via sort of viral means.
Mm-hmm.
That no one really owns the joke. It's almost like social. It really is like social. Fuck.
Excellent explanation. But that's definitely the part that excites me about it. Is like when someone.
I've had a really big headache this whole time, and I've just been fighting through it.
Oh shit!
Which is why I keep like getting these moments of blank.
You should have let me know. If you would like to help Giles with his migraines, his Patreon link is down below, and a little bit of money helps him out.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, to be honest.
You could afford some better medication if you had more Patreon money.
Nah, medication's cheap.
Well, you could afford in Australia.
Even the Botox treatments are only like $6.
Wow, really? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Might get me some bloody Botox.
No. If you get it without prescription, it can be thousands.
Jesus.
So, yeah. So the Kim Kardashians of the world pay a lot of money. I pay $6.
Oh fuck! You should send them some hashtags and ats and other various symbols
and mock them. Yeah.
To mock them.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a series of emojis that describes your situation perfectly to them. They're gonna be furious, especially that you didn't use Kim emojis.
Kim emojis?
Yeah, boy.
I didn't know.
Oh yeah, she made a fuckload of money making Kim emojis.
Fuck her.
That's how she made her money. Who are we more angry at? Are we more angry at Kim Kardashian, or are we more angry at the people who fucking lap that shit up?
Kim.
Explain further, please, for the folks at home.
Kim suck. Stupid.
Well, actually, I guess she's probably. I don't know. I don't even know from an outsider's perspective the situations that she manipulates to make money. But that's the kind of thing. Is I assume that it's kind of a manipulation. Like the fact that you can take your fame, turn it into emojis, and you make millions and millions of fucking dollars off that. Like, is she preying on her fans, or are the fans just stupid enough that they'll lap up anything she doesn't need to prey on?
Yeah.
Or is it a mix between the two?
No, I think if you're stupid enough to lapping that up, then you're stupid enough to pay for it, and you should take the blame, not. I think we had this conversation before where you said something about should McDonald's be responsible for fat people? And to that I say, still, they decided.
Yeah.
They've decided. They're not actually tricked into anything.
Yeah.
What's in front of them is fatty. It looks fatty. It's not healthy. You've done it to yourself.
I think yeah, you're right. And I think the products should exist. I don't think Kim emoji should just be banned, because that's stupid, because that's such a slippery slope.
I'll shun everyone who sends me a Kim emoji. I'll just not respond.
Just as they're allowed to exist, as you are allowed to shun people based on their use of emojis.
Yeah, definitely.
But my problem would be more with predatory nature. So the emoji existing, that's not predatory in nature, and hamburgers existing is not predatory in nature. But depending on how you market them, depending on where you attack them from, and a lot of them it could be kind of classed as an attack. So if you're putting like very sneaky ads into things that you know whales, I'll use that term. The people who drive your business, like in gambling and stuff like that, the people who overindulge to a fault, and companies know that, and they try and attack those people and try and get them hooked because they know that's where the big bucks is, even though it's seriously damaging to the people that they class as whales. Marketing to those people and stuff like that. If you put a sneaky little advertisement in things that you know they're looking at that act in a predatory nature, I think that's really bad. That should be banned. And that's why the whole Battlefront 2 thing exploded, because I don't think loot boxes should be banned entirely. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a bit of a scam for kids.
Yeah, exactly. So Kim emojis. Oh, yeah, that's actually a good example. It's children. So Kim emojis can exist, but perhaps if they're marketed towards children specifically, then they're just spending their parents' money on an iPad that they don't.
Yeah.
That they've hooked up. That freaks me out. That shit makes me feel a bit worried for.
Yeah,
for people.
I'll probably make a fairly large effort to keep my kid off the internet while they're young.
Yep.
Just fuck that. Fuck exposing them to. I was looking at an image as I was saying that. It's a toy doll, but it's been hollowed out and filled with guacamole. So you can like dip into its stomach and take guacamole out of it.
Oh Jesus.
So yeah, I want to keep that shit away from my kids.
Yeah, guacamole bear.
I don't want them getting ideas.
About filling their bears with guacamole.
Yeah, if they start eating guacamole, I'll just be... they're done. Like the little girl from earlier. I'll be fighting with them all the time.
I mean, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who's going to be messed with. If she wants to eat guacamole, she's going to fucking do it. If that's just what I got from that short period of time spent with listening to you guys, but...
I'll be able to... I'll deal with it eventually.
It doesn't really sound like she likes you using that daddy power. Anyway, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like
daddy power.
Daddy power. Bit of DP.
Daughter, I would like to chat with you about DP.
Oh gosh. That's a good title for a porno.
I want to chat about DP.
Yeah. Like a porn like chat show. It's time we talk. It's time we chat about DP. Anyway, the internet. But I mean, I'm super excited for what kids can get through the internet. But it's a fucking shit show, and like all the good content is surrounded by just trash that is easy to avoid once you know about it. But even little things like, okay, I saw a thing the other day that was somebody posted a thing saying, hey, there's this scam going out with Netflix. Or, yeah, it was Netflix. That you get an email saying, hey, we tried to renew your details, renew your subscription, but it didn't work. Please go here, update your details, and we'll get you all sorted out. But it's a total scam because you go to that website, you enter your details, and it's not Netflix. It looks exactly like Netflix, classic scam.
Yeah, wow.
And I've gotten emails like this before. I've seen them, and I just go like, no, I can see that that's a scam because that's absurd that you would send me to this link because that's not how you would do it.
I downloaded a virus the other day because I was getting tricked.
Yeah, right.
I found a video plugin for video editing software that cleaned up any visual noise, made it easier, like made it smoother and clearer, and it's perfect for GoPros because they can't do low light very well. It ends up being just noisy, like nothing. I found a plugin that fixes that. To buy it, it was going to be $75, and I just thought that was insane. So I went searching for a free version. Found a site which had a ton of comments underneath the link. Clicked the link. I realized after reading through the comments a little bit more, they were all like either the same person or they all had different names, but they were saying the same thing with the same grammar and everything. And I realized the whole thing was a fucking scam.
God damn.
And the installer had started by this point though.
Yeah.
And suddenly Chrome closed, and I was like, all right, that's it. If something I open closes my browser, it's clearly overstepping itself. Yeah. It's clearly trying to do something that's not just installing it. So I immediately cancelled the process. Almost couldn't open Task Manager. Like, it was one of those kind of things.
Oh, fuck.
I think I actually just reset my computer, the installer, because I was like, I couldn't close it.
Yeah, right.
It wouldn't let me close it off, and Task Manager wasn't doing anything. Apparently, I didn't have the permission to close that program, so I was like, oh, fuck this.
God damn.
Yeah, scary shit.
It's,
Looks like a totally legit file, and
these
with
are
a whole lot of comments.
Yeah, these are actually these are lessons that should have been taught in IT. Is we should in school is like seriously detailed lessons on this is a scam. Don't click these buttons. Don't do this. Like, here's how to browse the web without fucking yourself up.
Yeah, it's gonna get harder. Like, as stuff becomes, you know how news, we can't really tell if it's real or not anymore. It could be a joke. People will get so good at hacking and viruses and things that, like, we won't even realize we aren't browsing Facebook until it's too late.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, but then at the same time, as people are rushing to get better at doing that kind of thing, so too are companies rushing as quickly as they can to prevent it as long as they can, so you don't,
yeah,
so
right.
they don't lose money. Because if you're not browsing Facebook, or if your fucking Macintosh dies, then yeah, like, that's still in the company's interest to not let that happen.
Yeah.
So I guess we have to place our trust in Apple and Facebook. Oh, I'm excited. All right. Anyway, we're getting to the end of the show here. So we've got a little letter from the fan that we're going to read, and then I think that's how we're going to end today's show. This has been not a new format, but we're starting to get into some new ideas.
Yeah,
Coprolalia.
we tested out some stuff, as you could have heard.
So here we go. Letter from the fan today. It's not from Greg,
No.
which is odd. I didn't realize we had multiple fans, but apparently we have. So thank you to this man who doesn't actually specify his name. Okay, well, anyway, it just says, hello, this is fan from Nigeria. Do you know the way? I can show you the way. Follow me, return address Nigeria. This actually plays quite well into what we were just talking about. I have a feeling that this is a scam. Return address is a bit vague. I think the
Nigerian prince was caught.
They caught they caught him?
Yeah, they caught the guy who kept on claiming he was a Nigerian prince. He was in America the whole time.
He's been going at it for so fucking long.
Yeah.
He's been the number one scammer since forever. And they finally fucking caught the Nigerian prince. You'd think he wouldn't be that hard to find. Anyway, well, I don't know the way. All right, all right. I'm gonna send a return. He's got this return address. It's vague, but I'll stick it on there. See how that goes.
Return address Nigeria.
I'm gonna say here. Currently, I am unaware of the way. Way spelt W-A-E-Y. And would very much appreciate being shown. Very much appreciate being shown. P.S. That is not an invitation to be flashed your penis. Cool. Hopefully we'll hear back from him next time. This has been Coprolalia. I'd like to say bye, I guess.
Alright, we're finishing it up.
There's links down below to some stuff we talked about, and support links and shit like that, and where you can find our artwork. That's all. See you later.
Excellent. Good talking with you, Rai.
And good talking to you.
Giles.
Goodbye. Oh no.